there's just this societal belief that people they feel marriage comes with so much endurance. If you cannot stay and endure in your marriage, you've committed one big sin. Even God will not be happy with you once you are married. Divorce is not an option. So that kind of mindset has made a lot of women, you know, no matter what they are passing through in their marriages, they are there because they feel they have a spiritual backing. And meanwhile, most of all these spiritual backups, they just crop them, just like what you were telling me yesterday. There's a complete scripture that says God hates divorce. Okay, why does God hate divorce? Hi, beautiful people.
Welcome back to our channel,
Life of Teresa. This is my family channel. So this is my husband, Mr. Edmond Idibe. So I'm sure you guys know him.
And this is my wife, Mrs. Teresa Idibe.
Alright guys, so we are here to talk about Osinachi painful exits. You guys know how it happened now. You know, on the 8th of this month, something very, very sad happened. Like something that shook Nigeria, shook the internet, shocked everybody, not just Nigerians, everybody, because this is a woman that has ministered to so many people. When we had the news of her, I think you're the first person that saw it.
Yes, when I told you that, look at, so this lady is gone. You said, that is a lie.
No, I said, no, she can't be gone. This is a lie. I don't believe.
That was actually on Friday.
I don't want to believe.
On Friday night.
You know, I was not happy. And I was everywhere. I went to Donami's Facebook page. I went to her Instagram page. I was so surprised that her Instagram followers were just 4,000 plus for such a famous and impactful singer. I was so surprised. But later when I started hearing things, I said, no wonder now. These are the things that limited her.
Yes.
So I said, no, maybe this is a fake page, because as at that time, she had just 4,000 plus followers. Not even up to 5,000. So I went to Facebook. I was like, you know, sometimes when you hear something like that, you have to verify it as a blogger before you go and start talking about it. Someone passing on, that's a very serious issue.
That you don't just publish it without getting fact that what happened is true.
Honestly. So at the end of the day, there's this one Igbo man, you know, he's a car dealer. He's the one that wrote something about it. I was like, okay, that means this is authentic. Then later, many people, Vanguard, like many news outlets started talking about it. And I'm like, oh my God, so this is real. I cried, like I literally cried. Because this is someone that have ministered to me personally.
It's not only you that she ministered to. A lot of people have came up with testimonies about this lady. What, in fact, according to some, they said she has a golden voice, one of the best female gospel singers so far in Nigeria as a whole. Some people have said that, even from the controversial Daddy Freeze, he said he has never seen a female gospel singer like that with that kind of voice.
Honestly. Alright guys, so of course, just a little recap. You know how things have been unfolding. Her sisters, they had an interview with BBC Pidgin English. Even her mom self also spoke to BBC Pidgin Igbo. Later they now interpreted it, and they said she actually left the marriage for 1 year plus, like 1 year 6 months she left the marriage.
And the man was able to gather some pastors. So okay, let's go and apologize to my wife, which they did. They went there and apologized, and she accepted based on religious level, based on Christianity. Let me forgive my husband. She accepted and came back to the marriage.
But do you know why I'm not really happy, you know, with pastors going to beg? What is it that anytime, you know, their marital crisis, people who just recruit themselves, feel, oh, they are doing one special duty. Her elder sister actually, you know, went there when she heard what her sister was passing through, you know, carried Osinachi, and then they went back to their family house. Whether they went back to her house or her family house, I didn't get those details. So the man now recruited pastors. They now went to go and, you know, beg. Okay, you pastors that went to go and beg the woman to come back, what did you do after that? What follow up?
That is not even the case. If you're going to beg someone who left marriage or marital home out of anger, you should find out why did she leave. Find out the cause of her leaving the marital home before you proceed to say, okay, come back. If they had found out that what actually happened, then she told them that it has been a marriage, it has been all these, all what's happened, all what we are hearing. If they find out and she actually told them that this is what's happened that made me to leave my marital home, I think certain issues would have been addressed and they know what.
But do you think she did not tell them what happened? Is that what you feel?
There is no way you would tell people what's happened and they will not be able to hit the nail on the head. Okay. So I think they didn't ask and she didn't tell them what actually happened.
Okay, should I surprise you now?
Yes.
I'll surprise you, don't worry. Let me just say what I want to say now. The thing is that what I've seen in our society is that no matter what happens, no matter how big an issue is, no matter how far a particular thing has gone, there's just this societal belief that people they feel marriage comes with so much endurance. If you cannot stay and endure in your marriage, you've committed one big sin. Even God will not be happy with you. Once you are married, divorce is not an option. So that kind of mindset has made a lot of women, you know, no matter what they are passing through in their marriages, they are there because they feel they have a spiritual backing. And meanwhile, most of all these spiritual backups, they just crop them, just like what you were telling me yesterday. There's a complete scripture that says God hates divorce. Okay, why does God hate divorce? You were sending me something about it.
God hates divorce. That same portion of the Bible says you should be faithful to your partner. As a man, be faithful in your marriage. As a woman, be faithful in your marriage. If you're not faithful in your marriage, then you don't have any right to say God hates divorce. Will you go and be doing immorality outside, come back and you shouldn't divorce me? It is not what God actually said. And just as you said before, that in our society there's that belief that marriage people should endure. No, sometimes you don't generalize certain things like that. Some marriages, yes, some marriages are based on endurance. Some are, and if you look at some marriages, in fact, you'll be happy to be called a married man or a married woman. Some are going very well, but some are endurance. So I think I should correct that point there.
And even if you are enduring, it's not this kind of endurance. Every human being, they have their own shortcomings. Like me now, I cannot say I'm 100%. My husband cannot say it's 100%. Not like I don't have my own shortcomings, but there are some that are extreme, like extreme. And the funny thing about people that endure in their marriages is that they feel everybody's enduring. Leave that one, oh, it's cover up, oh. If you know what she's passing through, if you know what is passing through, it's even worse than my own. No, it's not everybody that is enduring, it's not everybody that is suffering in marriage. Just like I said, I want to surprise you so that you know that some people will actually know that this is what you are passing through, and they want you to go back to such a place. There's a story this celebrity shared, Mary Njoku, on her Instagram handle. The story is about a woman. She had a child before she got married to the man. I think the girl is 17 years, but I don't know when she got married to the man. But her husband actually raped her daughter. So the woman was angry. Because now the girl is even underage. Whether is the man's daughter, whether is the woman's daughter or not the woman's daughter, for a man to have such immorality with an underage girl is even punishable by law. But look at what people were now telling her, that she should go back to the man's house. Wait, let me read some of the comments. So somebody shared this story. Let me read it for you guys. The person said, in a close Facebook group, a woman complained that her husband raped her 15-year-old daughter, her stepdaughter. Read some of the advice she received below. So let me read them for you guys. Okay, Chukwu Precious, the first person here, said, send your daughter away. That is, this woman should send her underage daughter away. For you to know how some people value marriage
and remain in marriage that you're not too sure of.
God, send your daughter away and maintain your marriage. Forgive your husband. His temptation for both of you. Thank God she's not pregnant. Send her. Anyway, she have her own life to live. If you destroy your marriage because of her, tomorrow she will still marry and leave you. Please apply wisdom. Trophy. Marriage is trophy. In fact,
What kind of wisdom should that be? Is it the Solomon kind of wisdom, or I don't understand?
It shows you the lengths at which some women can go. The man has committed a crime. That's a crime. He's a rapist. He raped the woman's daughter, of which she's even supposed to even hand over the man to the law enforcement to jail him. Let the man go to jail for the act he committed. And for you even moving out of the man's house, that means you've shown him so much kindness that you did not even hand him over to the law. All right, so another person say, my dear, take your daughter away from your husband. Make her to tell you every details of her movement. As for your husband, admonish him seriously, but then try to forgive him and build up your home for the sake of the rest of your children. Another person say, please forgive your husband and go back to your marriage, but please don't take your daughter along. Let your daughter live with anyone you trust in your family. God will help you out of this problem. Then another person said, madam, don't let anybody tell you rubbish that your daughter should be dealt with too, because she is spoiled already. As long as she didn't cry, you failed your daughter. If not, she would have opened up to you. Then the last person say, please ma, go back to your husband's house, endure it. For the fact that your husband accept to marry you being a single mother, please forgive him. So single mother now is now a cause for the fact that her husband accepted to marry her being a single mother. So a single mother now is less human.
Well, there is something I want to add up to this, and also my own opinion. I think marriage is not a ticket to heaven, and being single does not deprive you from going to heaven, because sometimes we Christians, our target is to go to heaven. So from what you have read so far that happened there, I think the man should go to jail. A man that would do such a thing does not value that marriage. If you value the marriage, you must respect your wife and you must respect the institution. That takes me back to the quotation I was talking about in the Bible, that God said we should be faithful to our marriage. If you go into that kind of act, are you faithful to your marriage? The answer is capital no, you're not faithful to your marriage. So you should be dealt with. I'm telling you the truth. So by that, you don't send away your daughter, go back to your marriage. It will still happen. What if the man now decide to sleep with his own daughter?
Yes, now
it's possible.
Because even that his stepdaughter is supposed to, if he's a man that have sense, he's supposed to take that girl like his own blood.
His own daughter. So it's bad.
The comment have not finished. So say, as for me, forgive him since he has sincerely apologized. Men sleeping with their stepdaughter is very common. That is why we need to avoid it earlier. Those saying that she will sleep with his own daughter, he can't do it. Now you said that you don't have anything doing. Think twice before you get more frustrated. Where are you taking those children to in this hard time? That means the woman has children.
So what I want to say from that, from what that person wrote so far, I think certain things that we believe are common, we shouldn't incorporate those things to our lifestyle, because that is where we are failing. Say this thing has been happening, it's common. Why can't we look for a way to stop it?
The main thing there is not even we. It's a women thing.
Why can't women look for a way to stop it?
It's a women thing, because no man will tolerate this. Okay, imagine a man now, you know, he's married to his wife and he has a son, then his wife goes to sleep with the son. In fact, you will not even spend a night in that house. You will not. So women are always making excuses for men, but men, they don't make those excuses for women. Why?
Anyway, let me
something is wrong, and you're making excuses for the person. Something is black and you're saying it's white. So why I'm even bringing all these things up is that for you to see the society, for people to see the society that we are in, all these things are happening because the society feels a good woman. You know, when they want to tell you the qualities of a good woman, oh, she's so good, she does this, she does that, and all the things that they are trying to explain to you are all slavery. You know, so guys, you see, is I don't know whether to say is a societal, whether it's a norm. You know, they believe around us what we feel is supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be, and everybody, you know, we've grown up with that mentality. Because you see, sometimes some people, when they are married and maybe the marriage didn't favor them, or vice versa, I don't know, and then they now come back to their father's house, it's more like a curse. Those ones, they don't stay in their husband's house, so see all the children are, it comes like, I think it's a societal something. So what is really making me to talk about this is that now everybody is now heaping the blame on the pastor. Oh, it's the fault of the pastor, religion has failed us. It's not about religion, society has failed us. Like, it's not only in the church, even people that are pagan, they believe that a woman is supposed to endure, is supposed to in her husband's house, no matter what. You need to there's this nonsense they always say, there is a woman that owns the house. When it comes to something negative, let me not say nonsense, because my mother always advised me, if it's a woman that owns the house, so if you say make it good, it will go good. If you say make it spoil, it go spoil. Forget about, not be only one person they own house, two people. It takes two to tangle. What is all this? It's a woman that I think I'm the one that can really talk about this matter, because now me 918 they took for Liverpool, my man.
Let me add something to what you have said. It is not only a woman that owns a house. It takes two people to get things wrong. It takes two people to get things right. So it is a decision. Even if you go to the Bible, I think Amos 3:3, it says, can two work together unless they agree? The answer is no. They cannot work together unless the two agree. So it takes two people to get things right, and it takes two people to get things wrong. There's no smoke without fire. If there's smoke, fire.
Okay, imagine what the popular Nollywood actor Pete Doche, that everybody respects. Imagine what he said, that if a man is cheating on his wife, that what his wife should do is to put a condom in his back when he's traveling. That one will make the man to stop, that the woman should not knock about it. So it's a societal something. So when you now you gather the whole blame, you now heap it on the church, then one will be forced to feel maybe you have something against the church, because you cannot. This is something. Okay, look at what Blessing CEO wrote the other day. She said now, because ever since this thing happened, she has been posting about nobody should, you know, in marriage and all that. So now people are coming to comment. Before, she said she posts those kind of things, insults that they'll heap on her. Insult to them, said that one woman even had to go and apologize to her, say I am sorry. So this woman is more like a sacrificial lamb, and I'm beginning to think, because ever since she passed on, I've been like, God, why? So now I'm seeing it like maybe she was just a sacrificial lamb for many people's eyes to be opened. Because this woman is a genuine Christian, that even Daddy Freeze, just like you said she's good. For Daddy Freeze to say somebody is good, that means the person is good. So what are you talking about? Okay, sometimes they say when you love your husband, you treat him well. This woman loved her husband, she respected him, she obeyed him, yet nothing. Her family knew about it. Her children knew about it. Her neighbors, her neighbors know that. They said he always hear the man hitting the woman. They say, but this man is a pastor now. Is he really a pastor? All those kind of things. So even her manager, you know, according to what the video Pastor Paul Eneche, what he said on that video, he said even her manager said the man slapped the woman inside his studio one day. So all these people know, and they knew about it, and they did not say anything. about it. So why is everybody now blaming the church? I know, even me, I also blame the church. Yes, why did I blame the church? Because a lot of people, especially here in Nigeria, where we always, oh, we are too religious, this one, that one, and we feel, you know, living your marriage is a giant sin. Let me not even say mighty, giant sin. Many people feel living marriage is a height of irresponsibility. So you are not supposed to live no matter what you're facing because of the stigma, you know, the stigma that is attached to living your marriage.
So guys, I think I'm smiling because what my wife is saying, she's getting some things right. Let me put it like that. But let me bring up something here, maybe a little bit different from what she is saying. I think what women should do is to speak up. There have been silence. Speak up. Stand by your right. Women also have a right. We all were in our mother's wombs for 9 months. Let me tell you guys the truth. There is no difference between a man and a woman, though God has made a man the head of the family, but not the lion of the family. So women should speak up. Okay, for example, look at the case of Sister Osinachi. I think people have started talking about it, and certain things will definitely change. I told my wife that the society need to change from what we have been thinking. So from what we are saying so far, women need to speak up. Let them speak. Assuming they took action and reacted to what was happening, or Osinachi speaks out that this is my problem, she wouldn't have been where she is today.
She did not even tell her pastor. And you were telling me this thing though, that you, like, knowing who Pastor Paul and Eche is, that you don't think this woman have told the pastor. I said they are too close. I was arguing with her. I said I don't believe they are too close. You know, I'm sure she has told the pastor. Okay, even the chest problem, what caused it? Is it not all those accumulated, you know, all the things that the man has been doing to her? She's just trying to put it inside. At the end of the day, it now resulted to health issues. So you see all this emotional abuse, physical abuse. It doesn't need to be physical, just like Osinachi husband, you know, what he did to his wife. It doesn't need to be physical. Emotional abuse, all those things that a man will be doing to a woman, what is not supposed to do, a kind of character that is not supposed to portray, he keeps on doing it, and then the woman will be, you know, just as the society expects her, you know, bottle everything up, you know, before you know, is either she will now have hypertension or she will now have just like what happened to Osinachi's chest. And with that, the man self, how Satan want to punish him, I'm sure he now used his leg according to, of course, grown up. What can you even do in front of God's power that he will not tell?
You will talk
more of those ones that are grown up. They said he used his leg to hit her on the chest. A chest that already has complication caused by you. You now use your leg again. Where? You see how God want, I mean Satan, I don't even know who want to punish this man. So guys, now people are now blaming Pastor Paul Eneche. But Pastor Paul Eneche, you know, he came out, he spoke his truth. He said, this is it. I only know of this woman, you know, chest pain. They came to me and I prayed for them. When it didn't subside, I had to link them up with doctors. He mention these doctors, yes, you know, mention the hospitals, you know, call them by name for you to know that this is actually verifiable. So you can actually go and verify. He mentioned them by name, and then even Daddy Free said he believes him. I think we should play a little.
Let me start with everything he said. First things first, he started by honestly, what's his job as a pastor? He preaches and he prays. So she's a member of his church according to him, and he prayed for her, and he admitted, many pastors will not admit this. He said when they were not seeing results, he now stepped in as a doctor. From my understanding of Pastor Nenche, he's a doctor. So he started making calls and he was naming names. The broadcast is on Facebook. I watch it on Facebook. Always deal with what he said. So he said, and this to me is an honest admission. We prayed, but when we saw that the results were not coming, What we did was he now started mentioning the doctors he called by name, and he was mentioning their fields of expertise. All the way down to the Gwagwalada Specialist Hospital. He said that she came, and one thing why I loved his speech was he never denied the possibility of abuse. He never accepted that the church knew. He said the church did not know. And it is quite possible for the church not to know. As a matter of fact, I believe him. I believe him. He's not my friend. You know he's not my friend. He's not my guy. Someone said I saw transparency. I've never said this about a pastor before. I saw a level of transparency I did not personally expect from Idenchi. You are right. I saw transparency. Somebody says church where the gossip die. You are right. But also as a leader of the church, should he be listening to gossip? I don't fault him. There are some pastors that listen to gossip. I don't praise that. You shouldn't sit down and pastor, senior pastor, do you know that Auntie Ngozi's husband, do you know that he has a girlfriend? Pastors should deal with facts.
So you've heard from Daddy Freeze, the clip we have played so far. You know, he even said Pastor Paul Enenche is not his friend, but for the fact that he said what is real, he has supported him. But come to think of it, what is our advice to the people watching this program about this particular issue that happens, that everybody's talking about?
Yeah, my own advice is that, I don't know, like, I think women need to up their self-esteem because this thing, if you look at it, it also has to do with self-esteem for real. How can you allow somebody to trample on you to that extent? How? I'm even trying to, like, I can't even watch, you know, somebody treat someone like that, someone I know. Talk more of me subjecting myself. My husband is laughing because he knows. Subjecting myself for somebody to humiliate me to that extent, I can't. I think it also has to do with self-esteem. I just think it has to do with self-esteem. And then you don't really need to care about the society. Okay, look at the marriage she was trying to cover, you know, she was trying to protect. At the end of the day, it's out there. Like, everybody, what you were trying to cover is out there. You are no more to even tell your own story. So it's out there. Everybody now is now talking about it, what you were trying to cover. So I feel what I feel, like my church mind. When you talk about church mind, what I feel women should practice more is that they should up. I think it has to do with self-esteem. I think so, because men will not take some of those things. Like, why are women always looking at themselves as if they are less human beings? You know, the way you treat yourself is the way another person will treat you. If you treat yourself less, that is how they will continue to see you as less, as nothing. From less you become nothing, because men will not take this. And you know that sometimes we women, we are the problem of our fellow women, because when something happens, it's women that will judge you. Look at these comments that I just read for you guys. It's women, oh, they're everywhere. I go back, oh, your marriage, oh, your marriage, oh. Marriage doesn't define you. It doesn't define who you are. You are first of all a human being before marriage. It doesn't define anybody. Marriage is good, yes, it adds values to your life, yes, it helps you, you know, you procreate, you have a helpmate, you do so many things together. Even Bible said one will chase 1,000 and two will chase 10,000. So marriage is good. Marriage is so good. Like, sometimes I can't even like imagine myself sometimes, you know, going back to the singlehood, because I've been there and now I'm married. I prefer this setting now that I'm married, because I have a helpmate. But when the thing is now the opposite, when it's now the opposite and people want to stay and die, they're like, I don't get it, I don't understand. Please, women, for me, I think it has to do with self-esteem, because me, I love myself so much, and I will not allow anybody to treat me like that. Never. Nobody can even tell me, That's no. You can't even tell me. So I don't even know. For me, Osinachi failed herself. That's what I feel. I feel she failed herself.
Let me clap hand for my wife. She has spoken well, and I really love what her contributions are. But let me add up to what she said, and if I want to advise people out there, I think, as I said earlier, that women should speak up. Let them stand up. They should speak. Whatever it is, let them speak. And also, marriage shouldn't be seen as do or. You can complete that one. Do or affairs. It should be something that you must enjoy it. And that is why people advise single ladies and single men that they should go into courtship first. By going into courtship, you will see things you will not be able to tolerate and things you'll be able to tolerate. So by the time you identified that, you should be able to know whether to go on to exit from the relationship before you get to marriage. Try to sort that one out first. But if it has metamorphosed to marriage, try to, please, both parties should know that the ball is in their court. They should be able to manage every situation that happens there, because it's like give and take. You understand? Marriage is like give and take. But the issue of he turning it to wrestling house, turning it to boxing, women should not allow that to happen. And take note, nobody should tell you that you should remain in marriage and see the end if it is not good. Please, divorce, sometimes it helps. If there's need for divorce, go ahead and do it. Don't let anybody. And again, don't allow people to come and take decisions for you. Take your decisions the way it will favor you. You are the one wearing the shoes. You know whether it sizes you or not, and you know where it is that shoe pains you. So you should be able to stand supreme in your decisions. Be
selfish. I said this, but I made this particular point in the video I posted in my other channel. Be selfish when it comes to life's decision. Don't say this one push me. No, me, I don't take that. Don't say this one push. When it comes to decisions about your life, please carry fish, put it inside tray and sell it.
Stand supreme.
Be selfish about things that affect you, because now that a man has killed her, did her mother die with her?
No.
Did her sister die with her?
No. Nobody.
Nobody.
She has gone alone.
She went alone.
So that is it.
Alright guys, thank you so super much for watching. Stay beautiful and bye.